Mr. Donnelly, what are you up to?
No, what I can do, I can go on the cross.
What are you up to?
But I'm taking this out so you can see the crucifix.
What is it, a crucifix?
I put the chief constable on it.
Aye.
Right.
What did you do with
I
it?
was going to fucking get you to do it with me on the cross. No, what I done was, see that police hat up there? Right. See the wee character in that car there, look? Right, that's the cops who always hassled me and chased me in motors years ago, right? I put that police hat with a chief constable's jacket that I had, right? And I put this crucifix here, you can't see it because it's all grown over. On the front wall with the chief constable hanging on it.
The chief constable?
The chief at the time, I think it was Stephen House, right? And I was going out with one of my big Rottweilers. And what happened was, I looked up the road, I'm always a little ahead of myself, you know, and I seen these two police mountain bikes, you know. So what happened was, this cop car screeches up on the pavement there. And he went, James, you'll need to take that down. I said, no. I said, that's a protest against you illegally searching my house and causing me fucking life of misery here. And he said, well, James, if you don't fucking take it down, we'll rip it down. That was a sergeant cop, by the way, you know.
Aye,
so that's the way I had him hanging on the cross like that. Out onto the London Road with the police hat on and the uniform, with the big boots, big Polish boots.
A bit of Salvador Dali.
Salvador Donnelly. The place is overgrown with these fucking trees, man. I've had to cut them down for these fucking trees. But they're just all annoys me. See, I went to Sturgeon's house there 5 weeks ago, right? And all the reporters were there. By the way, I'm not making any fucking money after this. People, I can't shout it out, you must be making fucking a fortune. I have a gypso passed there one day. And he came back 3 weeks later. He says, I apologise, mate, I didn't know the story there. He says, I was talking to Big Alec Morris, and he says, I've known that wee man for 50 years, he got a genuine case there, you know. But what happened anyway was, cunts go by there and they think you're making fucking money, and if I've not made fuck all that, all I'm looking for is justice, but you'll never get it with a corrupt government. But as I say, I went to Sturgeon's house there 5 weeks ago when the police were there. And I gave one of the police, there was a wee woman, police woman standing outside. I says, listen, I'd like to give this letter to Mrs. Sturgeon. Oh, I don't know if I can take that, she says. So she went inside and get the big shot, he came in, but he can't take any letters. So I says to him, has Nicholas Sturgeon got a letterbox? But we still can't take it. The reason, by the way, is because it's going to bring all the cunts down and what they've done to me and what they've done to my family. My last lady came to the gate and she was throwing herself in front of cars and the cops took her away twice. She killed herself last year with a drugs overdose. Now I went to Sturgeon's house and put a letter through the door when she's been in the house, so she's hid behind her door. And what she done with me one time, I wrote to her at Holyrood thinking she's not getting to read my letter. So what I done was, in this letter I wrote to Holyrood, I said, Mrs. Sturgeon, see in this world that we live in with guys that are sad and put and killing their own people. I said, you're still living in the Wally and Paul Brown days. You know what she done the next week? Sitting in a fucking bucket reading a Beano. There's something up with her head by, she's sick, you know what I mean? And she shouldn't be running the fucking country, you know? But she's a pure ratbag and she's robbing the people of fucking Scotland blind. But the people are beginning to know and notice with me putting on my wallet what I'm complaining about here. A guy 3 months ago, he went, JD, you should think you were a fucking nut job, mate. He said, I seen you putting robots up and all that. But that's what they're trying to do now, they're trying to robotise us. They're trying to turn us into fucking robots. John, do you know why Barrafield was called Barrafield? No? Right. At the beginning of Glasgow, what they done was the tobacco lords and the slave owners used to put the shite out the back window and bucket. And whether like this, what happened was it began to pong. So what they done was some bright spark come away with an idea. Why don't we give them a farthing to dump the shite out the east end of Glasgow? And that's how Barrafield was named Barrafield. And it shows you how thick the people were. See, the next time you're in a bus shelter, look at the logos on the bus, the plastic bus shelter. The bird that never flew, the fish that never swam, the tree that never grew, and the bell that never rang. How fucking stupid were the people then if they believed that? And you're supposed to believe in COVID-19. I used to go out eating collies and mix with the collies boys when I worked with the Queen's Dogs and Lord Astor's Great Danes when I ran away to London at 15. And one time I went over to Eton, and Alec, he went in, you could have a pint and drive, and he went into the Crooked House in Windsor. And I said, Alec, I'll take a wee walk, we'll be eating college here, I'll see you here at 1 o'clock. So I goes there's a pub called the Queen's Arms there, right? And the College Gate is right next to it. So I'm looking in the old antique spangle window, and they're in there playing that game of pool with the pegs in the table. It's not like a pool with the 6 holes. And they've got the long tails, the wee dicky ball with a turned up shirt. And 2 of them come outside, a wee tall one, and a wee short one, a wee blonde headed one. And I says to them, what do they teach you in there, mate, pointing at the College Gate? And this man kind of half shut his eyes and went, we teach you ways and means of taking money from the lower class and keeping them down. I went, is that right? I felt like cranking a cunt in the job, but that's what they're taught in there. But do you know who that is now? Dominic Raab, and the wee short cunt with him is who Boris. Now, if you don't believe me, folks, Google this. Stanley Johnson's dad, Boris's dad, right, wrote a book in 1970. The book was called The Virus, and all they're doing is reenacting it. They're making millions off of selling plastics, vaccines, medicine, fucking, they're trying to shut their national health down, and that's what it's all about.
Do you think that we're going to get what we're saying this year about COVID on the rise? Are you going to your jag?
No, I don't take it. I don't trust them, John.
Why?
Well, they're putting a solvent into you. See, the men in suits, I call them, the EU have all got together in every country, right? That's how Putin and the Syrian guys killing off all his people, because there are too many fucking people in the world. That's what it's all about. And we're getting conned with, see with this so-called cycle lane, spent a fucking £1.5 million here doing these cycle lanes. Very rarely do you see cycles on it. Even in that day with the big competition down there last week, I've only seen about maybe half a dozen cyclists. But that's what to slow you down. What they're doing in the city centre of Glasgow, they're knocking down St Eno's Centre, right? And they're going to build these penthouse flats, and it's like the 17th century, they're dumping the shite up in Barrafield, right? It's the same, and now they've got zones into the thing. They see that old Shogun of mine's turning around, right? I can't get into the tune with that now. Barry will get a fine because he's getting into a fucking emission zone area, and that's what they're doing. They want everything electrified now. I'm an ex-mechanic. I'm an old fucking spark plug and coil man and battery. That's the way cars we're these days. But they're conning the people. Wait till you go and buy a battery for your new electric car. It'll be about fucking 12 grand or something. No, I'm not kidding you. But that's what they're doing, and they're trying to make this into a no-go area of the city now. They want the city pedestrianised so as people you can't get walked up a fucking street. I pay £400 a year to tax that motor, and £1,000, £1,200 a year to fucking thing me, and you can't get into the town with your car now. You know what I mean? And the roads are fucking horrendous. The corners that, and I hit a pothole, and it knocked my brake caliper off there about 5 years ago, and I had to repair it myself because they wouldn't reimburse you for the damage.
Are you going to run for the river going direction?
Oh, no, my fuck man. I'm going to go there, baby. I should. If I'd known that Hamza Useless was there the other day, I would have went there. See, what happened with him was, when he first started but this is the new First Minister, folks, by the way. I call him Hamza Useless, right? But when he was first canvassing for his SNP, they had the cancer shop in the Westmere Street. So I went in, and he was sitting on the edge of the table, and he had a full cup of coffee, he's ready to drink it. And I said to the 2 secretaries there, excuse me, love, I said, I'm looking to see if anybody can help me with my house being illegally searched for Princess Diana's mum's jewels. He left his fucking coffee down and he bolted into the back shop, right? And I says to the secretaries, who's that? And he went, that's Mr. Yusuf. I said, what did he hide in the back shop for? Don't know. I said, well, I'll call him Mr. Useless, and that's what he is. He's fucking totally useless, you know what I mean?
Right, Batman, what have you got to say?
Right. I met, this is in the late 60s, I met Arthur Thompson, and he just introduced me to this big guy called HP, we'll call him, because I can't use his name, because his relatives are still alive, and I think his wife's still alive. But he was a wide boy, big HP. He was the only guy that I know that sunk his 30 grand yacht and bought it back after the insurance for nothing. And he gave me my first car. When he had the car showroom at Shawfield there, out of the Gushet there, they had that big car. And I used to practice my getaway driving at 17. And I rolled the car 5 times, and where the new police station is now at French Street, that used to be where they done the pitch and toss years ago, you know. But what happened was, as I got to know him, I used to clean his cars and wash his cars and things like that. As I got to know him, I ended up at a wee flat, and I was selling cars to him. And this here is a bug, and what we used to do with this, we used to put this in the umbrella and tune into the VHS on the radio, and I could hear what the punters were saying, whether they were going to take the car or whether they weren't going to take the car, right? So as years go by, I used to go to the Shoe's house, and what happened was he ordered a kit house one time to a spare ground. He's the only guy I know that actually stole his own house. And by the way, he was one of the Queen's Guards at Buckingham Palace, and I think he was at Windsor too, like, you know, years ago, you know. So what happened anyway, this guy approached me, this is years later by the way, and he asked me, could I whack this cop, this guy in Canada? And what had happened was, it was a car dealer, pal of his, he was the big time dealer here. This is a photo of him here, please. This is him with his Mercedes thing there. And that's the cop here, the Canadian mounted cop, you know, this is him as a baby. And what he wanted to do, it was also applied for me to go over there. And anyway, going over there anyway, Munko, he was a bank guard in Montreal. And what happened was, that's me and my Mercedes there, and round about that period of time, like, you know. But as I say, he was next to Arnold Clark, this guy, he was a big dealer. But what happened was, this mounted cop here, I'll cover his face, and that's his wife there, with her friend Don Taber. He threw his wife out of a flat in Montreal, but he was an undercover drugs officer, right, in the Canadian police. And what he drove a silver Porsche in the days, and he was actually burning his own house for insurance. But apparently what happened was his wife, who was the daughter of this car dealer that I showed you a minute ago, the Mercedes dealer, he had her insured for $230,000, you know. So that was probably one of his rackets there. But what happened was, the wee man asked through HP, would I take this guy out, and everything was going to be supplied. See, what happened was, his wife was an air hostess, and he was bringing in the Charlie for fucking Canada and Montreal way back in the 80s, and there was a big kick up about it in the 80s in the Glasgow City Council, and all the cops were all stoned out their mind with fucking the Charlie, you know. But what happened was, he had a gun range up at Sight Hill, and I used to go into his house, and the spiral staircase, it was one of the houses that he stole that you could look through. And in the basement he had the big safe with a spider wheel on it, and he opened this door, and there was a control box there to the local cop shop to let them know that he was opening the safe, because it was full of all sorts of guns, Glocks, submachine guns, and he had to chap in this code to let them know that he was opening the safe, you know. But a lot of the cops actually used to go to his gun range up at some cell, like, you know. And in those days, I worked for him, I was always going up and down. One time I went up there and he wasn't about, and I knew he was friendly with Mrs. McIntosh, just an old lady that lived just across the road from where he lived, you know. And I shut her door, and she stayed in the wee outhouse of this big estate that she owned, you know. And they were the ones that invented, it was her son, or man, I think it was, that invented the Macintosh waterproof coat, like, you know. A lot of the motorbike guys used to wear them nowadays, you know. I can't mind there's a name for it, you know. Barber, I think it was a barber coat.
The bell stuff.
Aye. But what happened anyway was, I chapped the door, I said, do you have any idea where HP is, you know? Oh, that lovely old man. I said, I've not seen him today. And the next time I seen Shuey, he fucking blew his top. But what I didn't realise, he was grafting all day. But see, when she died, she left him £2 million, and she left him all that estate. And he built all sorts of houses on it, you know. But what happened was, I wanted the 10k up front for this whack, right? But they wouldn't, the money wasn't coming up, so I cut out it all together, right? The deal, that was it, fucking finished after that, you know. But this guy, as I say, he was one of the Queen's Guards at Buckingham Palace, and he was a triple fucking wido, by the way, you know what I mean? Hold on a minute. Aye, apparently what happened was he married the wee GIH, that's the wee car dealer guy, and he threw his missus out the window up at up in the flats at Montreal, like, you know. Basically that's it. But as I say, this is on this book, but I can't use the names because the relatives are still kicking about, you know. But as far as I know, the police pipe bands that come to the Glasgow Green every year, his police force that he was in before he went an undercover drugs officer, right? They still blow their bagpipes down there, you know. You know what I'm talking about, across the Green Street there, down at the bottom of the green, you know. But basically that's it. And they wouldn't put up the cash at the front for the whack, and I wasn't interested in the days.